What's up, people? This is the review of Bleach, chapter 668. Now, I know what this chapter is about. It's about Zaraki's Bankai. Okay? It has just revealed in its its last page of Zaraki's Bankai. And that Yachiru is his Zanpakuto spirit. Okay? So, I'm going to address that in a moment. Just, just, just in a moment. Let us go through the entire chapter. Okay, just quickly. So, Gerald Valkyrie explains his power, how it works exactly. I mean, basically, he doesn't really explain that well because I still can't grasp the whole ability of his. But whatever it is doesn't work on reason. It's just like everything which is against him, regardless of whether it is someone overpowering him and inflicting a lot of damage, or that his weapon being destroyed. Anything which goes against his favor, due to his powers, he can turn them into his own favor. For example, that's the simplest way that I could understand it. That's the most simplest term that I could actually explain it to you guys as well. Anything or everything that goes against him, with his power he could turn it for him. Yeah. So you inflict damage on him, he'll regenerate and he'll go giant. Okay. You chip his sword, he'll the damage that the sword had will actually reflect on what the damage that you will have. So basically, it's just a completely OP ability. That's what he explains. Now, that is not going to stop Zaraki. I mean, he pretty much makes this comment that, dude, why are you telling me about your power? Are you some cliched villain? I guess Kubo is kind of making this point that yes, he understands that his cliches are getting old, and that's the reason why he's kind of poking fun at them, because he did that in the previous chapter against uh, Urahara and Askin. The whole, hey, can you let me know your powers? And ask Urahara just says, oh no, fuck you. So he kind of is like, he's kind of like poking fun on his own cliches, and that's really good. That's quite impressive to see that. But again, what happens is that they are no they are fighting out, and Hitsugaya comes in, he interrupts them. Zaraki again bitch slaps him and says, "Stay the fuck out. I am having a blast over here." Byakuya explains Hitsugaya that, look, of there is no use of getting into this fight, because if you do get into this fight, you are going to get in his way. Okay, so Hitsugaya just he pretty much uh, explains the situation to Byakuya like, look, I know that, but you should also consider the fact that Zaraki is not taking this lightly. He has gone Shikai. He has taken off his eye patch, so he's taking this guy seriously, and he's getting his ass kicked. You know. So I think it is time that we do interfere, or else he's going to die, and we probably also might just die over here. We won't be able to save the soul society or beat Yohabak. So Byakuya notices one thing. He notices that his flower petals are, his snow petals are melting, and he's like, okay, maybe we should get into it. We don't really have that much of time, you know. So he explains he explains Byakuya the plan. He's going to freeze him, and with Senmon Zakura, you have to just shatter him, and hopefully things will get better. But as Gerald Valkyrie is fighting, Zaraki, he gets a hint of their plan, and he just tanks that attack. And like, nope, not going to work. I saw through your attack pretty damn easily. Anyways, so this is the meat of the chapter now. Now Zaraki is on the floor and he's trying to get up, and then Yachiru shows up, and she's like, "Hey, Kenchan, this is not the time to sleep. This is the time to have fun. If you use me properly, you will be able to have fun." And Zaraki is like, "Use you properly? What do you mean?" Use me properly, it means what these guys say as Bankai. Now that is some hyped shit. Like, I don't know what to say right now. Okay, first of all, the whole Yuichiro being his Zanpakuto spirit, this theory was around for a while. And some YouTubers did mention this theory a long time ago. This was a French theory. This was a theory which wasn't really that popular, but it was around. So I give you compliment for actually looking up, for having an insight of this whole arc, or for to actually giving a thought and coming up with this idea. So compliment, guys, good job, very good job. So as far as Yuichiro being a Zanpakuto spirit, now there are a lot of questions like how can everyone see her? She could interact, she could she could touch things, she could, people could feel her, people could feel her spiritual pressure. Now, okay, first of all, there are a few, there are a few Easter eggs, or should I say, I could kind of understand how this is possible. Now, for example, when Zaraki was introduced, and not introduced, I mean Zaraki was introduced to against Ichigo in his fight. Yuichiro pops out, and Ichigo is like, "Wait, I couldn't sense her spiritual pressure, and she is able to stand Zaraki's spiritual pressure, which was actually giving trouble to Ichigo himself." So back then, I just thought that, maybe it's because she lived with him for a very long time. She is his lieutenant, so that's the reason why she just got used to that spiritual pressure. I never really gave it a thought that why couldn't Ichigo sense her spiritual pressure until now. Until this chapter. So that just was quite intriguing. Also, if you guys remember, the people who have a human manifestation of their Zanpakuto do tend to have their Zanpakutos. For example, Ichigo, for example, Kyoraku, they have a physical human like Zanpakuto spirit, and that's the reason why. And these Zanpakuto spirits tend to have their own sword. Okay, the only difference is that their sword is in their Shikai form, but Yoruichi's sword wasn't in her Shikai form. It was in her, Sen. I guess it's known as Senzen Zaimin form. Correct me if I'm wrong, by the way. Which is the regular katana. It's sealed form. Okay, and even when she revealed her Shikai, okay, um, it was kind of different that her Zanpakuto never really changed, even though her Zanpakuto spirit came out. So I don't know what powers would Zaraki's Zanpakuto spirit actually would have, because as far as I knew, his uh, I thought his Zanpakuto spirit was more like a his Zanpakuto was a power based Zanpakuto, which is just for slashing and cutting and destroying stuff, like kind of like a berserker, like a claymore or something like that. You know, I didn't thought that it might have um, any ability as such. I mean, of course, we have to consider that it is probably the second time that Zaraki has, went in his Shikai. So yeah, we should also consider that. As far as do I think do I think this is being rushed, or do I think that you know Kubo has just put this in it? I don't think it's rushed, because if uh, because the fact that Yoruichi, sorry, not Yoruichi, Yachiru, I'm sorry, Yachiru. How long have I been seeing Yoruichi? I'm sorry, Yachiru. If Yachiru is a Zanpakuto spirit, okay, and she has been manifested for thousands of years, hundreds, minimum hundreds of years, that only means one thing, that Zaraki's Bankai is wicked strong. Seeing the fact that her spirit was able to manifest in such a good way that it looked like uh, it was it was a member of the soul society itself. So yeah, it has to be a wicked strong Zanpakuto spirit. Now this could also kind of be like what Stark. Okay, I think that this situation could be more like a Stark and Lynette situation, where maybe subconsciously Zaraki might have though gained the strength that is needed to have a conversation with your sword, but never really realized it. So her sword itself kind of divided itself from Zaraki subconsciously, and manifested herself into Yachiru. So that could be a possibility. Okay. Also, it could be a possibility that um, maybe because Zaraki never really talked with his Zanpakuto, that's why. And Zanpakuto was so happy that if he is able to know the it's if he would be able to know what his name Zanpakuto's name was, he would probably his she would disappear, right? So I think that's the reason why she never revealed her name, even though she manifested. As far as his Zaraki's Bankai goes, I do believe that it would be a very powerful Bankai. I think that his Bankai would be like more in the image of a Grim Reaper, you know. It would more look like a Grim Reaper. That's just when I think of Zaraki's Bankai, I think of him looking more like a Grim Reaper. Probably it would be a giant scythe, where and I also think that his clothes would also change. That's what I think. But anyways, what do you guys think? Yeah, leave it in the comment section below. Till next time.